I know this one guy who I met this year, and we became really good friends. But I found out that he is really, really into drugs and everything, and he started talking about them a lot lately ever since he knew that I knew that he did drugs. And so he said that his goal is to get me high before I graduate. So he just doesn't seem like a really good friend who, like, you wouldn't think a good friend would be like, I'm going to get you drunk or high before you graduate. And that's just like, oh, okay, well, thanks for wanting to screw me over or something, you know? But I'm still friends with him because I want to see if I can help him. But the reason that I always say no to that, it's more of a God thing for me. It's not in the 10 Commandments or anything. You can't do drugs, you can't get drunk or something. And so most people would be like, oh, it's okay now. But it's not okay because God wouldn't be happy about it. And yeah, you can do it, but I want to please God. And so why would I do something that would make him unhappy? Doing drugs screws up your life. And I have been really close to people who have had their life screwed over because of drugs. She was my best friend, and she got into drugs, and that was really hard for me. And I tried helping her a lot. But I haven't heard from her in who knows how long, and I don't know where she is or anything. And I don't want to put someone through that because I don't want to be, like, gone and people feeling what I'm feeling for Jennifer and wondering where I am. God would be unhappy because it would definitely pull me away from him. It pulled Jennifer away from him. And it will control your life. And just like for Lent or something, you give up something that you love to give to God. Like, I gave up MySpace, and whenever I wanted to go on MySpace, I would, like, pray instead, because that's what you're supposed to do for Lent. But doing drugs would get you addicted to it and would pull you away from God altogether, because that would consume your life.
So the family that I was raised in, addiction was very prevalent. I can't tell you a family member that I know of that has not used or been with somebody who hasn't used. So it was a very much everyday life for people in my family to have an addiction, whether it be alcohol or drugs or prescription drugs. It was very much in my face and everyday scene. So the summer of my freshman year, I moved up here with my stepmom and my dad, and they gave me a list of expectations and rules and told me that, you know, these things weren't allowed in their house, whether it be cursing or drug use. There just was a list of expectations that I was expected to follow. For the first year and a half or so, I struggled because I came from a lifestyle of it's okay, do whatever you want, just I don't want it to come back on me, to a structured Christian home that was, we care about you and invested in your life and want the best for you. One night my sophomore year, I made a lot of really crappy decisions with some people that I thought were friends, and paid for it for a couple of days. The morning after that night, I didn't feel well and I was really upset, and I knew my parents were really disappointed, and I made the decision to give my life to Christ and become a Christian. And I'm not here to say that the road was paved afterwards and was, oh, follow the yellow brick road, but I struggled. But it was coming to Christ and the decision to become a Christian that really made me to quit partying and quit using drugs and to not hang out with people that I knew were going to get me in trouble. In a lot of ways, well, in every way you look at it, becoming a Christian has really helped to stop the partying and to stop defying my parents intentionally, and to really live the life that I was called to. There was a huge sense of community there. My sophomore year, my basketball coach, was a Christian, and I actually had to call her the morning that I decided to become a Christian and let her know that I wasn't going to be able to make it to my basketball game. And she told me that wasn't an option, that I had 20 minutes to be there. That was frustrating at that time, but I now see it as her holding me accountable. There were people at church that came alongside me, and they were always more than willing to be there. The other thing that I came to realize, that God's not standing above me with a little checkboard that says, "Oh, Danille failed again." And that was really helpful to know, and just to see that He was always there. And at the end of the day, it wasn't like you messed up or you screwed up, but I still love you, and it's gonna be okay.
I have experienced close friends doing drugs.
Yeah?
And I've witnessed people and how they react on them. But then I've kept turning them down because I got a swimming career to look out for in Frisbee, and I got a good life in front of me that I gotta look out for.
How much would you say you've been around? Like, how much is it in your friend circle and that kind of stuff?
I'd say about 50% of my friends
Yeah?
have touched or have connected, have connects to, and I would say it's extremely there. Like, it's always there in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter where you go, it's like I see it every day in school.
Really?
Every day.
I'm surprised by that.
You just see people in the hall doing deals. It's everywhere.
So tell me more about this swimming future. Why stuff? Why have you made the choices you've made?
Because if I want to go to college and I want to get a swimming scholarship, that'd be a bonus. But I just like to swim, and if I do any of that stuff, I get kicked off the team. And I've already been captain for 1 year, and this will be my second year as captain. And I don't want to blow that, because that's kind of a cool thing that I've got going for me. 2 years as a captain, and I'm like the best swimmer at Kent Lake right now, so it's pretty cool. I kind of like bragging about that. I mean, like, I don't know.
Hi, I'm Russ, and most of you know that I've been around the youth group for a number of years. Actually, I think I'm going on about 25 to 30 years now. My story starts long before that. I've had the privilege or responsibility or just the have to go to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings for a number of years. And you get to introduce yourself as who you are. And you have to be real with yourself and real with those around you. So I get the privilege of going in and introducing myself, and I have to say, "Hi, my name is Russ, and I'm an alcoholic." Started drinking when I was about 12, and having a dad that had beer in the refrigerator all the time and mixed drinks on a regular occasion, there was always the opportunity to make sure that you didn't take the last one, but you could pretty well drain anything that was in the refrigerator as long as you didn't take the last one. I learned very quickly, you don't take the last one. I ended up with a full ride scholarship to the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy in Kings Point, New York. The drinking age in New York at that time was 18. I was 18, and I pretty well made a mess of it. Went from about a 3.8, 3.86 in high school to a 1.3, which barely kept me in school on a full ride scholarship. During this period, I had a walking blackout of about 3 days that I do not remember to this day. And that started to scare me.